Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. And welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 Hearts channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot motherfucking topics. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, good people. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys had a really good weekend, a really safe weekend. It was really beautiful outside this weekend. So I hope you guys got a chance to get out and do something, enjoy yourself, so on and so forth. As for your girl, I had a very eventful weekend. I had a very, very eventful weekend. I had a very motivational weekend. I had a very eye-opening weekend, and that makes me feel good. I feel like I can start the week off good because of the way I spent my weekend. Alrighty, so listen. You know we got to do our show reviews, and y'all know what we getting into today. Your girl Deb's house. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, as you enter the chat, do not forget to hit the thumbs up on the video. Please do not forget to hit the thumbs up on the video, and let's rock and roll. Today we are reviewing Deb's House RnB Season 2, Episode 7. The name of the episode is Going with the Wig. All right, so the episode starts. So remember, it left off last with Kim saying she had to go, she had to roll, and Miss Deb was saying, "Well, what the fuck you leaving for?" So anyway, Miss Deb is now following Kim upstairs. Kim is trying to go upstairs and pack. Miss Deb is saying, "I can't believe you going to be a quitter. I can't believe you a punk. I can't believe you going out like this." And Kim was like, "Okay, whatever you say, on Deb. As long as you know that I'm rolling up out of here, that's all that matters, right?" In the process of on Deb cursing Kim out, on Deb, oh Lord, on Deb had the audacity. Hey, Melisita, had the audacity to bring up AJ again, a freaking again. Miss Deb, what's your deal, sis? What is your deal? Why are you bringing up AJ? She's gone. And again, if you want her to carpet munch you, she can do that without being on the fucking show. So, anywho, Miss Deb brings that back up, and my eyes roll all the way in the back of my fucking head because I'm like, oh boy, here we go again, right? So, Kim is looking at her, letting her go on her little rant because Kim said at the end of the day, I'm still leaving. In Kim's confessional, she was saying, she just feel like that's not somewhere she belongs. She was like, a lot is going on in the house, and she ain't got nothing to do with that. It's just not her thing. What I felt was that, number one, Miss Kim was older than them, and she felt out of place because of that. And then number two, I think Miss Kim is used to yanking bitches, and I think she felt like she had to be she had to have too much self-restraint in that household, but really and truly, she wanted to knock somebody's fucking head off. So she was like, let me just go on and get up out of here, right? That's what I believe it was. Hey, yo, Linda, my nosy neighbor girl. So, anywho, the ladies was downstairs and they was like, listen, why is Miss Deb up there begging this bitch? She already let her in the competition for free. So now you going to go up there and beg her too? So they was off Miss Deb. They was like, look, bring your ass down here and focus on us. We still in the runnings. We don't care nothing about no camp. Right? So Miss Deb came downstairs. She apologized to the ladies. She was like, listen, I mean to be begging Kim to stay. She said, and also she wanted to invite them to the RnB ball. She said at the RnB ball, they would get the opportunity to perform, and then they will also select the winner for the competition, right? So I was like, well, shit now. So the ladies are chilling, and then they start doing a little they start doing their phone calls to home to let folks know what's going on. And Audrey calls her sister, right? So I like the sister. The sister was so beautiful, so nice. She was giving Audrey some encouraging words saying, listen, I can't be there with you, but I love you. I got your back. You're going to rock this. Stay focused. I'm here. If you need anything, we love you. So you could tell that Audrey has a really strong support system, especially because of the way she talks about her grandmother. Now, Audrey, come here. Come here for 1 minute because you my girl. You my girl. Whatever was going on with your skin in this season, what I think it is, I think it's stress. I think your skin was responding to being in such a stressful situation because, again, you want to win the competition. But girl, oh Lord, it was tearing you up. So hopefully you got that part together because you're a beautiful girl. So I think that once you get that part together, you're going to be Liddy again, right? So then the ladies sit around and talk about their journey, does farm music, yada, yada, yada. And then Amber decides to give her mother a call. Now, Amber started sharing with the mama that the RnB ball is coming because I guess that's why everybody was calling their feeling me to let them know the RnB ball is coming and I need you to come out and support me, right? And when she told the mother, I guess basically, let's just say the RnB board was Monday, and Amber was telling her mother on Friday because how the mother was acting, like it was too. They was cutting it too close. She was like, "Oh my God, that's too soon. I'm not gonna be able to get out of there. Whatever." But then for no fucking reason at all, the mama went crazy. So you know what I think? I don't want to say for no reason at all because I just said this earlier today. It seems as though they heavily edit these episodes. So a lot of things you don't see. So when certain things happen, you looking like, wait, why did that happen? Because it did just look like Amber mother just started flipping like, what you getting upset for? And Amber was like, I'm not getting upset. You said you can't make it, okay. But the mother seemed very triggered that Amber was okay with her not being able to make it. So I was wondering if Amber said something in between that they cut out. So it just looked like the mother wasn't nut. Either way, I could see why Amber had some of the traits she had because the mama definitely, if that was the case and it went how they showed it went, she went bonkers for no fucking reason, right? And of course that triggered Amber, right? So she goes in the room, she started boohoo crying. And I like the lady tried to comfort her. They came in, they was like, we want you to be okay. We got your back. We know you talented, you ambitious. Like, we don't want you to give up. Don't let this little setback with what's going on at home make you forget about all of the things that you have to do while you're here. You got this. And I like that. I like that because remember, this is a competition and it's only 3 girls left. So in the competition, most times people was like, I ain't got no time to be comforting nobody because I want you to lose so I can win. They seem to have each other back. So I thought that was very sweet, very nice, right? So then they head to the photo shoot for their songs that they're going to perform at the RnB ball. And then in the next scene back at the house, Ashley calls her boo. So apparently Ashley is a lesbian and she has a girlfriend. And she wanted to tell her girlfriend about the good news that, I made it to the top 3. We're going to perform at the RnB ball. And I'm guessing she was going to invite the girlfriend too. But before she even got the opportunity to do that, the girlfriend banged it on her. Like I said, I'm almost sure that some parts is edited out so you don't see everything, but let's just pretend it's the way they saying it went, right? She basically said what she said and the girlfriend banged it on her. Right. And I was like, wait, what? Like what? Like, why did you do that? First of all, I'm away from you, but you know what I'm over here doing. You know what we got going on. Why would you just hang up the phone in my ear, especially when I'm calling with good news to let you know how far I've come and the journey that I'm on and you know what I'm doing, right? So Ashley was just basically saying that, she feels like her girlfriend is not happy for her new opportunity. So I didn't really understand why, but then she said, and to some extent, Ashley feels like indebted to the girlfriend because the girlfriend was very much supportive and helpful and by her side and had her back when she was going through her whole bout with cancer. So to some degree, I guess maybe some of the intolerable bullshit that the girlfriend do, Ashley might feel like she kind of sort of might have to be patient and work it through with her because you were patient with me and had my back when I was going through something, right? Ashley, come here. Come here. Like I said, we follow each other on social media, so you're going to hear this, right? Don't get me wrong. I truly, 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 truly understand that during one of your most tumultuous times, this woman was there holding you down. That's one, right? I also understand that, in relationships, you do have to be patient with your partner and try to figure things out. That's two, right? But the other part is, but you don't have to tolerate disrespect while you're being patient, and that person doesn't have to be disrespectful. So at the end of the day, yes, I mean, if she had an issue with you, it's nothing with verbalizing that. I could have even seen if she'd have been like, well, listen, I don't want to talk on camera, so if you in the house and they got the cameras rolling, I don't want them to hear our conversation, so we'll speak later. That whole hanging up in your face like that, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. And like you said, I understand having patience with her, but that wasn't about being patient. That was about her being disrespectful and you tolerating it. Don't let nobody treat you like that, girl. Don't let nobody treat you like that. You seem like a nice girl, and if you're nice to her and she know what you got going on, she don't need to be disrespectful in those moments. She don't need to be disrespectful at all. And you got to check that because, girl, it will get worse before it get better. So, anywho, Deb was like, ladies is under a lot of stress. So she decided to gift them with some wine. And baby, when she gift them with the wine, they was there unwinding. And I love that part of the show, right? I like Audrey as a hype person. She there making up all of these songs, hyping Ashley up. And one thing I do like about you, Ashley, too, when you are in this mode, you very fun, you very confident, and I like that it's very easy for you to let your hair down. So that makes everybody else around you feel like they can let their hair down and have fun because you provide that space. So it was nice. And Audrey too. She was there hyping you up, remixing all of the songs. So it was so cute. I enjoyed that part, right? And y'all asses was tipsy down, right? So the next day, they get a visit. They get a visit from Roger McKenzie, right? So he stopped by to help the ladies pick out their dresses for the RnB ball, right? He was nice. Roger was very nice. None of the ladies really, in my opinion, gave much pushback about their dresses. But when Ashley tried on her dress, she got emotional because she was saying that, being a survivor of breast cancer and having a double mastectomy, and she did express some of this in the first episode, even at the auditions. Well, not at the auditions, but the first episode. She was saying that, not having her breast can sometimes take away from her sexy. She was like, and she's always trying to find her sexy. So whenever something she puts on something or something makes her feel that way, it makes her emotional because, it's like she's lost it. And I wanted to say once again to my girl, you're a beautiful girl with a beautiful personality. That part about you can be sexy as well, Ashley. So even if you're not thinking about it in a physical sex appeal, in a physical meaning like, oh, people want to screw you per se, you can more so lean on the fact that you're a beautiful girl, and that can be sexy to people as well. You have a nice personality. You seem like you're kind. You seem like you're a good mom. Those traits are sexy as well. So don't only look at it from a physical standpoint, because there are other attributes that you do have that you can put out there that would make you sexually desirable, and also that would make you feel sexy. Okay. So next up is hair and makeup. So the glam team come over, and the glam team was very adamant. They was like, listen, y'all ladies got to be open to change. So what you got going on right now, we going to have to cut it on out. So they was even saying to Ashley, you're going to have to take them fucking braids out. She was like, okay, at the end of the day, I'm trying to work. I'm not so connected to these braids where they can't listen. Do what you got to do because I'm trying to win this competition, right? So Amber was mortified. Amber was mortified. Amber was mortified. She said she's very invested in her image and being a reflection of her. She's very invested in her image, and she wants to be a reflection of herself as an artist, and having wigs and weaves and all of that don't represent who the fuck she is. Right? Then she started saying she has sensory issues. So if these people are going to be all in her head, grabbing and pulling and yanking and braiding, that's not going to work for her. And the sensory issues may be another extension of her not being able to be touched because she has autism. So anyway, right, I looked at that and I was like, bro. Okay, girl. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit the thumbs up in the video. Please hit the thumbs up in the video as you enter the chat. So Audrey on the side, they all went to call their families again. And they didn't edit this properly because they just showed us the glam team cutting Ashley braids out. But then when they showed them in the next scene calling their family, you see Ashley there with the braids. So they should have played that scene before they played the other one. But anywho, Audrey calls her dad. And again, very supportive family. Her father was very hyped for her. He was like, you got this, baby girl. He was all hyped up. You could tell he like a hood dad. So I thought that was so cute, so nice, and made her get emotional. He was like, I'm your number one hype man. Basically conveying the same message that the sister did. So I thought that was very beautiful. And once again, they bring up the grandmother a lot and how she's proud looking down on her. And he was like, I knew dad was good people. That had me peeking at. I wonder if Audrey is going to be who win the competition, just because she's kind of already invested in the music business. But anywho, we'll see, right? So that Ashley calls her mom, right? And when she calls her mom, that was a much different conversation than she had with her woman, right? I love the mother. I love the mother. I love the mother. I love the mother because, first of all, soon as she saw that it was her caller, she was like, hey, Ashley. She seemed like she was so happy to hear from her. And then even then, soon as she got on with the conversation, she led with, I love you. You got this. You're going to be okay. I'm so proud of you. So all of the moral support that Ashley needed, the encouragement, the well wishes, the prayers, everything that a mom provides in those type of moments, Mama Love jumped in formation and got with it. And I was so happy because Ashley needed that. She needed that. She wasn't calling her children on camera, so we didn't see her speak to them. And then when she called her boo, it didn't go well. So her having a conversation with somebody outside of that house that she knows genuinely loves and cares about her, that made an impact. And you can see that. And she was like, thank you so much, Mom. I love you. And it was so nice. It was so nice. I liked how the mother was acting, right? So then 12 hours before the ball, because they kept doing a countdown saying this many hours before the RnB ball and this many hours. This time they said 12 hours before the ball. Now, when they was in glam, I told y'all, Ashley cut out her braids. I think they gave her a wig. They was giving Amber a wig, so they braided her hair down. Girl, why Amber went and took the fucking braids out? She was like, she tender-headed. Those braids messed up her vibe. It doesn't represent who she is. Yada, 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 right? And one token, I don't necessarily disagree with Amber, right? I do not necessarily, well, we'll get into that. Anywho, when they realized she took the fucking braids out, somebody, I think it was production, went and called Deb, because girl, Deb got on law. She was, Amber, Amber, what the fuck is going on over there? You not on Deb is. So she started cursing Amber out, saying, first of all, why the fuck did you take them braids out? Second of all, why would you disrespect my glam team and have them come waste their time knowing you was going to take them fucking braids out? Oh, girl, Amber, that's why I told y'all, I don't care what y'all say. They talk about, it ain't no autism. Amber is full of fucking shit. Amber is full of shit because she was popping so much shit in her confessional about this ain't her vibe, but this don't represent her as an artist, and she not conforming to their beauty standards and all of this. When Deb asked her, you know what Amber said? Amber said she has sensory issues. Wait, what she said? No, she said, "Oh no, Miss Deb, my dress is off the shoulder, so I felt like I needed to updo. So I felt like I didn't need them braids. I just could pin my hair up." Amber, that's a lie. That's not what you said in the confessional. That's a fucking lie. Deb said, "What was that, Amber? Amber, no." She started cursing Amber out so fucking more, right? Soon as she started cursing Amber out, I told her, and I like Miss Deb said it. She said, "I done fell for you before and your antics and this bullshit. We're not doing that this time. If you want to work with me, you got to be willing to pivot, change, and do whatever I ask you to do in order to be big in this motherfucking industry. You're not going to be pulling these stunts you just pulled right here. I'm over this shit." And we was looking like, "On Deb, we over it too. We've been wanting you to be over it from day fucking one when you was babying and coddling her." And girl, Amber did exactly what Amber do. Amber bust out with them fake ass tears. She said, I tried, but it don't look like me. Miss Deb said, Amber, not today, Amber, I'll wear that shit today, Amber. Shut up, I don't want to hear that. Not this time. I said, I know that's right, on Deb. Yeah, get shit in line. Hello. So when she started crying, Ashley had said in her confessional, she made two valid points, right? She said, Ashley, wait, I'm gonna get to that. She made two valid points. She said, in this business or any other business for that matter, you cannot, she was like, being difficult to work with is a red flag. People don't really want to work with you. She said, and the other thing is you can't cry your way into what you want all the time. Ashley, come here. Come here, because you my good up sis. So I want you to come right here and I'm going to hold your hand when I tell you this. Number one on the list, I love number one on the list, you should have said it to her face. That's number one. Y'all all in there together. Y'all all building and growing a relationship. You should have said that to her face right now in the confessional. Number two on the list is why I agree with what you said, right? I also think that you could take a couple of tips from Amber, regarding the courage that she had to be herself. Because like I was going to say before, while Amber gets on my fucking nerves, I can also be fair in saying I understood where she was coming from about her identity and how much that means to her regarding her image. And what she was basically trying to say is the type of artist that I am is this way, and because of that, this is the image that I want to portray to the world. And if you're telling me to do all of these other things and strip myself down and change this and change that, then it takes away from my artistry because you're changing my image, and those go hand in hand with who I am and why I do what I do, right? So I could respect her being courageous enough to try to stand on business and be like, no, I'm not conforming to all of this. I got to do things the way I do things. The only issue was you didn't stand on motherfucking business, Amber, because you didn't say that to Deb's face. You made it seem like you changed it for some other motherfucking reason. And Ashley, what you should have done was, stole a page from her book, because I think that one part of you lacks the ability to be so courageous that you can be a people pleaser. Because even with the braids, like you said, you wasn't so connected to the braids, so you didn't mind cutting them out. But how many other things will you conform to just so other people can have their way? So I think you could take a page out of Amber book with the being courageous part. But the other part, I do definitely understand where you was coming from and agree with you. I just wish you would have said that shit to Amber's face. Right? So, everybody was just looking at Amber cry, and they was like, Amber. She was having a meltdown, and no, Deb. And Deb was like, no, listen, Amber, I'm letting you know right now. If you cannot get on board what I have going on and you want me to manage you, then you will not be able to work with Deb. So you might as well leave Deb's house. I was like, pussy, God not? Right? So they always looking like, oh shit, right? So now it's 2 hours before the board. Everybody fucking nervous. Amber don't know if she going, she staying, what's going on. And then they flash it across the screen. To be continued. So I'm like, oh shit now. So I don't know if last season they only gave this show 8 episodes. I thought they gave it 10, but I guess they only gave it 8. And if they didn't, this season they gave it 8 because it seems like next episode is going to be the season finale. So I enjoyed Deb's house. So the season finale is coming up next week. We're going to see, they're going to choose the winner. You're going to see them at the RnB board. They're going to perform, yada, yada, yada. Hopefully, Amber make it to the finalists. Hopefully, she gets past this little hump. I don't know. I don't care because Amber got on my nerves the whole fucking season. At this point, I'm voting for Ashley because I feel like she's the most genuine in the house, the most nicest, and you know she's trying to do what she got to do. Ladies and gentlemen, even if you did not tune into the show, I hope you tuned into my reviews and you enjoy. Please hit the thumbs up on the video, and we have more reviews to come. Enjoy the rest of what is this weekend because it's gonna go fast. Let me say one more thing. Real Housewives of Potomac comes back tonight. Real Housewives of Potomac comes back tonight at 8 p.m. So be tuned in because we will be talking about that later on 6. I'm not doing its own review because my aunt is not there to grind down, so I will not be giving Potomac its own reviews, but I will talk about it on later at 6 every week because I will be tuned in. Enjoy your weekend. Love y'all. Bye-bye.